Hello, hello, everyone out there in internet land. We are live here from 𝘠𝘭𝘬, and we are streaming on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. So you can find this many places, just like the train. So I wanted to welcome you all here on this Friday afternoon. And as we did last time with the last single, I wanted to, like a week later, hello. Oh, by the way, if you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and something pops up that says allow StreamYard to let your comments be seen by me on this end. So go ahead and click that, and then I can see your comments. Hello, Laura. Oh, how lovely. See, you did it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so it's evening there. It's 1 o'clock Pacific here. And I wanted to hop on. It's been a week since I released The Train, and just talk a little bit about the song and the music and some of the hidden messages in the song. And to thank you so much for your streams and your shares. And it's been really exciting to get your excitement and feedback about this song. So thank you so much for that. Hey, Bob, hi. And thank you for the rose. I'm going to put a little heart there. Oh, I can't put a heart. I'll put a show. Oh, there you go. See, I can click show. That's so lovely. Thank you. So great to have you here. And so I thought we would just talk a little bit about the song, the writing of the song, some of the hidden messages that are in the song, that are in the lyrics, and what's coming up with the music video and the pre-order, etc., etc. So we can just get started right away. And also feel free if you have any questions. I love your questions. I love your comments. I've had some very in-depth conversations actually over messaging about this song. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments and I will reply. Okay, so this song is called The Train, as you know, and I'm very excited that I got to have some guest Celtic musicians on this track. Declan Masterson, when you hear those high-flying Celtic flute lines that come in, is an extraordinary musician from Ireland, and he was the music director for Riverdance, and he also collaborated on multiple recordings. Van Morrison is one of the artists that he was on one of his albums. And I was introduced to him by Maurice Dixon, who is the Celtic banjo and bodhrán drum player on this track. And Maurice, you'll hear at the beginning of the song, you hear the Celtic banjo, and you really hear it featured at the end of the song with Declan's flute lines. And when I first conceived of this song in the studio, I was very inspired by Robert Plant and Alison Krauss, their duet albums. I don't know if you've heard those. You can drop it in the comment if you have. If you haven't, highly recommend them. So good. They have these beautiful tight harmonies, and they take folk music form and kind of put a groove under it. And that really inspires me. So that was my starting off point for writing the song, as well as Peter Gabriel and the Celtic sound machine, Afro-Celtic sound. Another great thing to listen to if you like kind of world music that mixes in with groove. So I sat down to write this song using those elements, and I realized I really wanted to have a Celtic flute element for the train when the chorus came in. So I laid in like a vocal track going, and just kind of laid that down as a reference. And so when I hired Maurice to play his banjo part, and he heard that, he was like, you know, I know a really great Celtic flute player, Declan Masterson. Would you be interested? And I said, absolutely. So he reached out to Declan. Declan said yes. And I was so happy about that. So I sent him the track, and he recorded those flute lines in Ireland, actually, and then sent them back to me to lay into the timeline. So that was how all that happened. And I was so excited when I heard the tracks, what he and Maurice had put on here, especially because this song was the hardest song to write on the entire album. And there were many times I almost gave up on it. And I remember saying to myself, I believe in this song. I believe in this song. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. I mean, it started with, I wanted to, hey, Ivan. Oh, thank you. That is a great question. So great to see you. Ivan's all the way from Ireland too. Actually, he was quite instrumental in Morris and Declan being on this album. Thank you for that, Ivan, a million times over. So yeah, I will get to the Red King for sure. Oh, thank you, Bob. Thank you. Because I literally struggled, of all the songs, this one I almost gave up on, but I just kept saying, I believe in this song. I believe in this song. I know I can do it. David, hi. Oh, I love seeing you guys here so much. It's just so wonderful to come and spend time with you. Thank you. So when I wanted to write a song about time, and Ivan, I will get to this question. And I wanted to, because I've been studying time for the last few years. I'm going to get geeky for like 3 minutes, and I promise I won't. I'll try to make it short. And in studying time and how we perceive time, I was reading a lot of books about time and how it interacts with our consciousness, and doing experiments, consciousness experiments with time, trying to understand time as a force and how it affects us and how we relate to it. I wanted to improve my relationship with time because it is very dysfunctional because I'm either running out of it all the time, or freaking out about not having time, or wishing there were more time, you know. And so this song was an expression of all that. I wanted to create a song about our relationship to time. And I realized as I was thinking about the song that I started writing lyrics about time, like marching feet and clocks, and how we all get caught in the daily world of time. And they were so bad, you guys. Oh my God, they were so bad. I wrote these lyrics and I just looked at them and I was like, oh my God, that is so terrible. What am I going to do? I don't know what to do. And since the album is called Through the Looking Glass, I mean, it was called Through the Looking Glass, and I have a song called Through the Looking Glass, I thought, well, why don't you just go to Through the Looking Glass, go look in the Alice in Wonderland book and see what you can find there. Maybe you'll get inspired. So I went to the book, and there was this passage about her pulling rushes from the water. And then I started diving a little deeper and reading some analyses about the book. And one of the analyses of that phrase is that it's talking about being in your dream state. And then I just thought, oh, dreams. Yeah, dream dance, dream is so much a part of who I am and what my music and my lyrics. So I got inspired by dreams. And then I remembered in all of my dream journals for all the years, I have like 25 years of dream journals. And whenever I dream about a train in the journal, it's because I am feeling like I'm stuck in karma, that I'm stuck, I'm not making choices in my life, that I'm on this train that's just moving me forward and I can't get off. And it's not very pleasant in the dreams, but that felt like a really strong metaphor for time, and when we're stuck in time. And a beautiful, yeah, it can be. I mean, that's the thing. I actually love trains. So it's a seductive thing. And I learned that as we made the video with the lady in the striped dress, like, oh, this lady in the striped dress, she's like that seduction of getting on the train and getting everything done and always feeling like you're stuck in time, right? So that was my original inspiration, is, oh, trains. Oh, it's going to be a song about getting on this train. And the train is this incessant moving forward towards, I hate to say it, our demise, mortality. We live in this linear time, or so we think it's linear. We have a perception of time being linear. And so that's where the Red King comes in, because he, in Alice in Wonderland, he's kind of a malefic character. So I imagined him being, you know, on the train, and he's basically deciding how long your ride is going to be until the Red King says it's the end of the line. And that's the only time you can get off, is that. So that was the genesis. And then once that started, all of a sudden the lyrics came really quickly. And then I got really excited again about the song. Like, oh, this is going to be so cool. But then creating the music and the arrangement was back to, oh my God, this sucks. I don't know. Maybe I have to give up. It's too hard. I don't know what to do with it. So as I started conceiving the storyline, and I talked about, you know, the hidden relics when I told you about meeting up today to talk about this. As I mentioned earlier, I've been reading about time and consciousness and how we interact with it. And you know, when you're in those moments in your life, it could be anything. For me, a lot of times it's creativity when I'm painting or dreaming up of a concept or writing music or singing or dancing or any of those things. You notice how time just disappears for you. You could be, you know, completely involved in something and all of a sudden hours could go by. Like I was editing this video the other day and it was like 5 hours went by and I didn't even notice. When I'm in the studio, hours go by, I don't notice. And that's when we're in our creative state. We're in like such a high state. So that's what the other parts of the song are about, when and because nature for me is such a connection to that and inspires me and inspires creativity. We're in the forest. I pull the rushes from the water. I fall backward through the mist, which is a reference to the dreams, and a white hot steam hiss. So I'm seeing that train, even though I'm in this other place of ecstatic joy, but I know that is always out there for me. So that's really what the general premise of the song is. And then as I'm in the forest, I'm spiraling and spinning. And those are references to the different types of time. And I go into this really in depth in the book on the chapter about this song, because each song has a chapter that's dedicated to some of these occult and hidden meanings in these songs, which are I'm just so excited about because the book looks so cool, you guys. Oh my God. Anyway, so when you go into when you study the way time interacts with our consciousness, you know, I just mentioned the one example where you get completely lost and time is gone. Let's go to the opposite end. You're sitting in a really boring meeting in a horrible office somewhere or something, or you're at a really boring dinner party, or you're at a theater or a play and you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to get out of here. This is not what I want to be doing right now. And it just goes on forever. That's the other way that time and our perception of it can morph and stretch and be malleable. So the way we relate to time, as I learned through all of this processing of how do I want to relate to time, is so much about our own experience and choosing our awareness and how we're feeling. So on another level, the swirling and the spinning through the forest is referring to circles and cyclical movement rather than linear, which is once you're on the train, you're like, it's 9 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock, it's 11 o'clock, it's spring now, now you're going to be 85. Now, okay, it's over, or whatever. That's the train. But all these other things in the forest is when you're painting, or you're with your lover, or you're reading a great book where time is just spinning out in a different way. And when you study the metaphysical aspects of time, they talk about like multiple types of time: cyclical, spiral time, which is like a spiritual evolutionary aspect of time. So that's what the spinning through the forest is all about. And oh, thank you, Bob. Yes, that was super cool too. So that's like the overarching view. The song is really all about time and how we escape it with at the end, my flights of fancy set me free. Meaning it's, yes, it could be a flight of fancy, but it also could be a choice to, I'm just going to choose to drop into state right now and enjoy and not even worry about time. There's so much. I mean, time is one of the greatest mysteries of physics. I also read a bunch of physics books about it because I'm a little geeky that way. So those are some of the things I really wanted to share with you about what the song is about. And as I said, it goes in deeper in the book. But what I noticed as we were shooting the video, and thank you for that great question, Bob, was as I was editing the video, excuse me, I had the vision for the video, but as I was editing, I noticed that this lady in the striped dress who shows up and goes on the train is like a little scary in a way, and seductive, and kind of, but also kind of enticing. And I didn't really notice that when I conceived of the video, but then when I edited it together with the lady in the forest, which is also me, but I also realized, oh, this could even be two parts of ourselves. That part of you that's like, come on, get back to work, get out, you know, you got to stop spinning around in the forest and doing things like that and get back to it. Or it could also be time itself, personified by this woman in the striped dress who's telling you to get on the train. So that was a kind of cool discovery that I had this week, editing all the parts together. And the video, hi, Peter. Oh, it's great to have you here. Thank you for joining us. I love where I live. I live in this amazingly beautiful, cool town called Petaluma, and it's in Sonoma County. It's about 40 minutes north of San Francisco. And the town was settled in like 1840s, and it survived the 1906 earthquake and fire because it was far enough away from the epicenter. So there's a lot of old buildings here. Now, old for US, I know, like not for Europe, not for you lucky people who live over in England or in Ireland or in France or elsewhere, but for us, it's old. So, and I love old buildings, as you know. So it's this beautiful town with these old buildings. It's right on a river. There's lots of culture here. And near the town where I walk to town a lot, there is this old train yard, and you can just go in it. It's another thing I love about Petaluma. It's still cool. Like, it's not all uptight, you know? Yes, I love Petaluma so much. I literally walk through my town going, I love my town. I love Petaluma. Bob commented it was a lovely name for a town. So walking through town, I'd written the song, and I saw this old train, the one you see in the video, sitting in the train yard. And I was like, oh my God, I could shoot the video there. So of course I grabbed Victor, who's the amazing, comes along and videos me all the time and is so patient with all of this. And we shot a bunch of footage there for the crowdfund early last year. This year, Victor's daughter, Caitlin, came. She's a filmmaker who lives in Europe, and she was visiting. So I was like, Caitlin, let's do some filming. So she is the one that shot the current train stuff that you see in this video. And that was just super, super fun to do. She shot a bunch of other things that day too, which will be coming up in other songs. So that was the train. And then we had to go find all the woodland stuff. So again, where we live, we went back this weekend, just recently, to Occidental, California, which is about 30 minutes from here. And they have a beautiful redwood grove up there, gorgeous, amazing redwood grove. And so when we went there, I needed some more. I had shot some redwood grove stuff in Mendocino, but I was like, we don't have enough footage. So we had to go out and shoot some more. And we found these wait till you see them. Oh my God, you guys, the trees. I mean, they're, you know, like the size of half of this room. Some of the trees that we are shooting around, there's this big cave tree that we found, this big stump that I posted online the other day. It's so beautiful. John, hi, welcome. So happy you're here. So that's where we shot all the woodland video. And that's where I'm, you know, spinning and whirling and being the free spirit, and then back on the train with you. So that's really the most I really wanted to get across, because I know that when I post the music video, I will put all the lyrics out there. And I know sometimes it can be hard to understand the lyrics when you're just listening. I really do try to make my consonants as crisp as I can so that you can understand everything. But even still, sometimes it can take time. And I really just want to get across what's really underneath the surface of, like, it's also just a fun song of get on board now, you know, it's got that kind of upper fun vibe. And it actually is, but there's this other undercurrent, I guess I would say, for all of us, you know, the undercurrent that we all live with, this idea of mortality that everyone's been trying to find the answer to for millennia. And this song is really about, yes, we know it's there. We know it's waiting there for you with an empty seat, just for me. And I know I'm going to be on that eventually, but until then, it's my flights of fancy that set me free, and my creativity and my dedication to finding what means the most to me in life, which is, you know, being free and really doing what touches your soul, basically. So that's really what the song is about. So I think the video will be ready in probably early next week. We have to do the color balancing and still some more effects and some of the transitions. And then I will let you know for sure, because I'm super excited to get that out there. It was very complicated. It took a lot of time to put it together. And like in a week, the pre-order is going to be open. And I'm so excited about that too, because for those of you that didn't jump on the Kickstarter campaign, oh, I'll answer that, David. Yeah, I'll let you know, because that was kind of fun. For those of you that did not take part in the Kickstarter campaign, the pre-order is next. And, you know, I wanted to create these packages where you could pack in a lot of value and a lot of things for the pre-order campaign, so you get a lot of bang for your buck. And so we have the book. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about the book. Wait till you see it. It looks so good. We have mock-ups of it, and I can already tell what it looks like. And the album, the double vinyl album, the Digipack CD, and the digital, plus the book, and plus you get these extra goodies that will only be for the pre-order, and that's going to be for the next few weeks. And then after that will be the album release. So once the album comes out, you know, officially, those pre-order things won't be available anymore. So that's coming up too, and I'll let you know about that. I just feel, because this is it's like a complete piece of work. The streaming is not going to be out. You know, it's going to take like months, because I'm going to do one song a month. So to get the whole experience with the album and the book and the whole thing, it's like you want to get it all in one package, I think. I mean, that's what I think. But David, the train was really, really tall. I think you can tell in the video. And the whole video, you'll see there's a shot where I'm standing at the top. It was really high, and I was a little scared. I have to admit, I'm a little scared of heights. But I just held on really tightly. Caitlin came up with me, and she was like, I didn't do a lot of dancing up there. I just did some, because it's probably about, I would say 20 feet high, maybe something like that. The kind of fun thing though, is when I'm up there, you know, with my parasol and just doing all my Nymphia things. All these people, of course, how that happens. People walk by and they're always like, look at that crazy lady in the striped dress up there. What's she doing up there? So of course we had lots of that, which is always fun, you know, and I was like, hey, but yes, I was. Mick, oh, hello, welcome, 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 all the way from the UK as well. It's so great to see you here. Thank you. I just love spending time with you. So does anybody have any other questions or comments even? I mean, any thoughts about what I was talking about with time, for instance, which I feel like time, you know, they talk about time and money. Those are the two big things, right, that drive our society. And we always feel like we can use more of both, right? So, you know, I feel like time is such a big issue for so many of us. And I wonder if, like, did what I say resonate with you about how you relate to time? You know, sometimes it's the taskmaster. It can make you crazy. Do you feel that time is on your side? You know, there's all these sayings about time. Yes, just ignore the Red King's announcements. Exactly. Yes. And that's what this song is about, for sure. You got to ignore it. I mean, sometimes you have to pay attention, right? But otherwise, you have to just ignore it and go about living your life and being happy. I feel like that's always the answer. So yeah, that Red King, whew, he can be a tough customer, right? So yeah. So if you guys are you feeling complete? Do you have any more questions? I will let you go back to your dinners and your. I don't think Ivan is doing shrubbery right now at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night, but whatever you like to go back to do. And I'll email you when the video's out, and I'll put it up. It'll be up on YouTube, and I'll share on Facebook and Instagram and the other places when it's ready. And you know, I also want to close with just one more thing, which is, and I mean this, I say this every time, but I can't even begin to tell you how I love you and how you motivate me, and you keep me inspired. Mick, for instance, you wrote me in a comment, you're like, hey, I can't wait for the music video. When's it coming? And that is what inspired me to go out and shoot even more footage, because I'm like, all right, because I almost for a moment was like, maybe I won't put out a music video for this. It's kind of a little difficult. And I got your message, Mick, and I was like, I have to make a music video for this. I have to. And it was great. I wasn't like, oh, I have to. I was like, I have to. So I just want to thank you so much for that, because it makes all the difference. You know, it's the whole, if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it, did the tree really fall? When you make something like music or art, visual, audible, it really matters in the sharing of it with people. So I'm really grateful to be able to share this with you, and your enthusiasm literally is like fuel for me. So thank you for that. And it's so great to see you all here. And I love you. What can I say? So I will be in touch with online with posts and emails and all that, and have a beautiful, wonderful weekend. Take care, and thank you for spending your time with me. Bye.